It's your girl, Nurse Brooke, here at Brook Talks Podcast channel on YouTube. If you are back, thank you for coming back. If you are new, please comment, like, and subscribe. Today we are going to do another book review. Y'all like that book review that we did before, and I am an avid reader. I read a lot of books, so I'm going to start doing some more book content in between everything else, okay? So this video is about books that were absolutely disturbing. Now, some of them I did not even give them a rating because of the content of the book, but I did read them and they were noteworthy, so they are on this list. So I do read a lot of horror, splatterpunk, psychological thriller, murder mystery type books. So a lot of times there are content matter which can be very uncomfortable, unsettling, disturbing, and quite simply hard to get through. Okay, just being honest. So before we proceed in this video, we do have 5 books that I thought were absolutely disturbing that I have read in more recent times. Okay. Again, please check content warning on these books as you proceed into reading them or listening to them on any Audible services or reading a physical copy of these books, okay? These books are not for everybody. They're not. So beware. Final warning, okay? I also want to note that these are not listed in any particular order or fashion, okay? They're not listed from most disturbing to least disturbing or vice versa. I just put them in whatever order came to mind after I went through my my Goodreads read list. So the first book that we're going to talk about, again in no particular order, is Gone to See the Riverman by Kristopher Triana. This book I actually gave 4 stars to. Okay. So this book follows a woman who is essentially obsessed with a convicted serial killer who agrees to complete this horrifying task for him in exchange for his affection. Like, the main thing that's disturbing about this is not just the violence, but it is the willingness and openness and comfortability with this main character to complete some of the things that she's doing and making some of the choices that she's making. And the way that she's actually justifying these actions is bewildering. So this book explores kind of like an obsession, fixation, and just an overshadowing of moral decay that as a reader you are sitting in that without relief, without a break, okay? And it just asks the reader, how far will a person go for validation and for acceptance and for love and affection? How far will they go? So the next book, book number 2, again, no particular order, is Brother by Ania Ahlborn. And this book I also gave a 4-star rating to, and let's talk about it. Brother follows a young man who is raised up in an isolated household where incest, violence, and cruelty are all normalized. These are normal things in this young man's household. This book is disturbing because it examines learned behavior and the acceptance and complicitness of those learned behaviors because it's all someone has ever known. It explores generational abuse, family loyalty, and just the overall psychological cost of survival, okay? There is violence here, but the fact that the discomfort for me comes from how quiet and just matter of fact and routine the cruelty feels. And as the reader, you feel that. Check this one out. So the next two books we're going to talk about, I want to put out a major content disclaimer. The content in these two books are extremely extreme. Okay, I'm not rating them. I didn't rate these books because I don't want to imply enjoyment, because that's not what it is. It is just the acknowledgement of their severity and the impact that they made in my reading journey in life. Okay. So, disclaimer. So, Dead Inside is the next book. It's called Dead Inside by Chandler Morrison. And this book follows a deeply disturbed man whose inner monologue centers on taboo desires, graphic violence, and emotional detachment from humanity. It's not a metaphorical horror. It is extremely explicit, it's graphic, and it is intentionally repulsive. Intentionally repulsive. The book explores themes of necrophilia, moral emptiness, nihilism, without restraint or commentary meant to soften the experience. There is no commentary meant to soften this experience, okay? It is extremely explicit. It is extremely graphic. I cannot stress that enough. The point of this book is shock and transgression, and it is designed to make the reader uncomfortable from the first page all the way to the end. You are uncomfortable from the beginning of the book to the end of this book. This book is not for most people, and I do not say that lightly. Tread lightly if you decide to read this book. Look into the concepts and the topics and the context of this book. It is an extremely explicit and gruesome book. So the next book is Playground by Beauregard. This is the fourth book on the list. Again, no particular order. So Playground by Beauregard is another book that I did not give a rating to due to the content of the book. Okay. Playground is an extremely explicit book as far as violence. It is an extreme horror novel that is meant to absolutely disturb the reader's sense of safety, security, and innocence. The book relies heavily on like graphic descriptions of cruelty and shock value, and also keep in mind that the name of the book, Playground, it is related to a situation with kids. Kids are not being, abused in a way that you would think. This book is absolutely gruesome, and it's like, who put these thoughts into Beauregard's head, baby? Because this book is like no other book that I have ever experienced. Honestly, this book makes me think of the Squid Games, but for children. Yeah. Squid Games for kids, for sure. This is an extreme splatter punk novel, book, story. I don't know what it is. Read at your own risk. So the fifth and final book in this series, I actually did save this one for last because I absolutely loved this book. This is one of my favorite books. I gave it a whopping 5 stars. And it is Pretty Girls by Karin Slaughter. 5-star book. Absolutely disturbing, absolutely uncomfortable, absolutely something out of a crime TV show, the worst possible experiences ever, on steroids. And the content matter of this book is very relatable to today's society here in 2026 with the files people have been calling it. It is a book of violence and exploitation. It follows 2 sisters who are actually brought back together in the disappearance and murder of a woman who is actually tied to their past. I can't even tell you all of the things that you are going to experience as a reader with reading Pretty Girls. Please, please, please check content matter, disclaimers, trigger warnings. The violence in this book is extremely difficult to read. Extremely difficult to read. This is a realistic situation, even though it is the worst possible situation. It is an extreme slow burn because you have to get to know each character. You are going across a timeline continuum of a life, many interconnected lives. You know, again, it's two sisters who are brought back in relation to a woman whose death, murder, is connected to their past. And 5 stars. This book is also not for everybody. This book was so hard to get through, but it was worth it. I mean, from beginning to end, this book is absolutely a 5-star book. So that is the list of 5 of my most disturbing reads. Good, bad, and ugly. Good, bad, and different. I would like to do more book reviews. Y'all let me know what books you're reading, what books you would like to see reviewed. I have read a lot. I don't even have my entire reading resume on Goodreads. I've read so many books over my years. So I'm reading more books now. So let me know what types of books y'all want to hear, want to see reviews for. This was just like a short list, but I can do more in-depth reviews and things like that, or do more lists like this. Again, these genres of books in this video are not books that you should tread lightly with. They are not books for everybody. A lot of people have experienced some of the things that have happened in some of these books, and it is something that I will absolutely stress. Please check content warning. Please check trigger warnings and enter at your own risk. Please come back to Brook Talks with your girl, Nurse Brook, where we do so many things and talk about so many topics: pop culture, crime, gaming. I do game on here live, books, TV shows, reality TV, and so much more. So if you are new here, thanks for watching. Thanks for coming. If you are a Nurse Brook Talks returnee, thanks for coming back. Please hit the like, subscribe, comment, put a heart, put a book. Let me know what you want to read or what you're reading currently in the comments. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.
Glass on my gun, I'm in my zone. Pretty with a purpose, yeah, I do